Mattie Duppler. Good to see you, Mattie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Tim Cook, no friend of the president. He's criticized the president on all sorts of things, Paris Climate Accord and more. And he withdrew from the CEO roundtable at the White House. But if he's crediting the Trump tax cuts, the GOP tax cuts, is that proof they're working?
I certainly would say it is, and I look forward to more non-believers really seeing the light on tax reform. And listen, I'm not that concerned about what CEOs or even celebrities in Hollywood or even our politicians in Washington say. I'm concerned about what our public policy says. And up until the passage of the tax bill, what our public policy said was keep out to all investment that wanted to come back to the United States but simply couldn't. So Tim Cook is right. Dropping that corporate income tax rate from 35% to 21% will be a huge boon for the economy, and all of these companies that are American companies that want to invest in the country are now going to have an easier time doing so.
You know, we've run sound bites of President Obama on the campaign trail last year, or the year before that rather, saying, how's he going to do that? How's Trump going to do that? And now it's silence. It's radio silence. I call it the silence of the Democrats. Because to this day, Mattie, no Democrat, none, have committed to a straight-up repeal of the tax cuts. And now Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi, unusually silent after Apple's whopping huge repatriation, about $250 billion in overseas cash coming back here. Remember on the news that millions of workers are getting bonuses of $1,000 or more? Pelosi mocked that as, quote, crumbs. Listen.
In terms of the bonus that corporate America received versus the crumbs that they are giving to workers to kind of put the schmooze on is so pathetic. It's so pathetic.
I don't know, Mattie. I mean, Apple's workers are her constituents. What's going on here?
Right. This is the joyless state of the Democrat Party. They can't be happy that American workers are doing better unless the government mandated it to be so. And what we're seeing instead is public policy that really induces investment and allows companies to make the right choice, because they make the right choice the easiest choice, which is being able to raise wages for workers, even if it's in the form of a one-time bonus. This is something that we're going to continue to see moving into the new year, because companies are recognizing not only the dividends financially that they'll see because of the tax reform plan, but also in terms of public policy, how good it is for a company to put their workers first. This should be something that we celebrate in Washington and in Hollywood. The notion that American workers are benefiting from good policy changes is good for all Americans, no matter your political stripe.
You know, Mattie, anywhere from 8 out of 10 Americans live paycheck to paycheck. I mean, those bonus checks are not crumbs. And, you know, Democrats are now in the awkward position of rooting against a booming economy. I don't know. I mean, tax cuts help create jobs, which fix income inequality. I mean, remember when the Obamacare exchanges were launched and the website crashed, and then you had Obama stimulus, you had boondoggles, crony capitalism, Solyndra. That didn't work either. And even Obama said, Mattie, that, you know, his stimulus did not create shovel-ready jobs. Go ahead.
Well, you know, you have the corporate tax cuts that are certainly going to spur investment and increase wages in the United States. But then you have the individual side of the tax cut plan, which is going to be huge for Americans, especially all those Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck. The average American family is going to see $2,000 more in their paychecks. That's an extra $50 a month. If you're someone who's taking into account every penny when you're paying your bills, that's a lot of money no matter what Nancy Pelosi says. And in the long term, we'll see wages rise as a result of this tax plan as well. So the average American family is looking at a much better financial situation, and hopefully in turn they'll be able to save a lot more.
Mattie, it was great to see you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Okay, we're still watching for the more news coming out of D.C. We just broke